Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual on Firstpost. Here's a roundup of stories from across the world. The Biden administration has reportedly approved plans to retaliate against Iranian targets. Reports say the US is planning to strike Iranian personnel and facilities in Iraq and Syria. It will conduct the strikes over several days. This comes after 3 US service members were killed last weekend by a drone strike in Jordan. Meanwhile, the US has also imposed sanctions on several Israeli settlers in occupied West Bank. This is for attacking Palestinian communities in the region. The sanctions will freeze their assets in the US and restrict financial dealings with them. Washington has accused the settlers of undermining stability and security in Israel and Palestinian territories. British Foreign Minister David Cameron has said that UK officially recognizes a Palestinian state. He said that UK will not wait for talks between Israel and the Palestinians on a two-state solution. However, he added that the recognition would not come while Hamas remained in Gaza. Israeli Defence Minister Yoav Gallant has said that the army has almost completed its operation in Gaza's Khan Younis. The army claims that it has killed at least 10,000 Hamas fighters and destroyed a number of Hamas tunnels in Gaza. Gallant added that the soldiers are now poised to move further south towards the border with Egypt. And protesters continue to line up streets in Tel Aviv demanding the release of hostages from Hamas captivity. The protesters carried banners and raised slogans saying no more time. In recent days, Israelis have ramped up calls for government to strike a hostage deal. Around 100 hostages were freed under a week-long ceasefire deal in November last year. However, over 100 are still being held captive by Hamas. 7 workers at a Procter & Gamble factory in Istanbul were held hostage by an armed man. They've now been freed after a 9-hour ordeal. Police have said that the suspect was protesting the Israel-Hamas war. Images show the suspect wearing an explosives vest and carrying a gun. Ukraine has claimed that it used sea drones to sink a Russian vessel in the Black Sea. Ukraine's military intelligence agency published a video purporting to show the attack. The video showed multiple naval drones crashing into a vessel and exploding. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed his thanks after the European Union agreed on a $54 billion aid package for Kiev. The agreement comes after weeks of wrangling with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. In December last year, Orban had vetoed the package. France's 2 major farmers' unions have announced their decision to suspend protests. They've decided to lift up road blockages after over 2 weeks of protests. This was after the French Prime Minister unveiled a new set of measures. French farmers had been protesting against low wages, heavy regulation and unfair competition from abroad. North Korean state media has released photos from leader Kim Jong-un's visit to the port city of Nampo. According to the report, Kim stressed the importance of building warships for the Navy during the visit. In recent months, he has emphasized the development of Navy amid growing tensions in the Korean peninsula. In the past, Kim Jong-un also directed the North Korean armed and naval forces to be prepared for war. A small plane crashed at a Florida mobile home park yesterday. Several people aboard the plane and 1 in-home were killed. The crash left at least 3 homes with fire damage. However, the fire was quickly doused. A fire resulting from a gas explosion in Kenya's capital Nairobi killed 2 people and injured hundreds. The fire started just before midnight at a gas refilling company. The company's building has been severely damaged. The proximity of the industrial company to residences has raised questions about the enforcement of city plans. Officials are being accused of accepting bribes to overlook building codes and regulations. In climate news, a two-day trial of Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg began in London on Thursday. She's been charged for a public order offence. The incident dates back to 2018 when Thunberg, along with 4 others, allegedly failed to move from a state of protest when asked by the police. If convicted, Greta could face a maximum fine of about $3,000. In Spain, the Catalonia government has announced a state of emergency after over 1,000 days of drought. Water restrictions are in place for agricultural irrigation, watering public parks and car washing. These restrictions were extended to Barcelona region as well. Meanwhile, Storm Ingan has struck the Norwegian coast. It has damaged buildings, roads and led to cancellation of ferries. The storm first hit southern and central Norway and then moved to the northern region. Storm Ingan set a new Norwegian record for average wind speed. Two powerful storms hit the U.S. West Coast, causing road damage and sparking flood warnings. These storms are a part of Pineapple Express weather pattern, which involves a strong and persistent flow of warm, moist air. Northern California received approximately 2.5 centimeters of rain in 1 hour. Major city roads were inundated, resulting in road closures. Following heavy rains, several riverbanks in Peru burst. The floodwater has damaged houses, fields and crops. People were seen using plastic containers to discard muddy water from their homes. A severe heat wave gripped Argentina. The temperature touched around 36 degrees Celsius. Residents flocked to public showers to escape the scorching heat. The weather department has issued an alert for extreme heat for the week. Tough restrictions are in place in Colombia's Bogota city to curb air pollution. The authorities only allowed public transport vehicles like taxis and buses on the roads. This comes after the city was gripped by smoke from nearby wildfires. China's Shanghai city is experiencing sub-zero temperatures. The mercury dropped to -6 degrees Celsius in some areas. Approximately 30,000 police officers have been deployed to ensure smooth road traffic. People were patrolling areas that needed road maintenance personnel. On to business and tech news. Germany's biggest lender, Deutsche Bank, has announced 3,500 layoffs. This will affect 4% of its 90,000 global workforce. The redundancies are mostly expected to affect back-end roles in the company. The announcement came as Deutsche reported its fourth quarter results. The bank's profit dropped by 30% in the fourth quarter. Employers in the United States announced over 82,000 layoffs in January. This is according to a U.S. staffing firm report. The layoffs in the first month of 2024 reached a 10-month high. The report added that the finance and tech sector saw the most number of job cuts. Furloughs were driven by rising automation and the adoption of artificial intelligence in various sectors. Shares of regional banks in the United States declined for the second day in a row on Thursday. This was after New York Community Bancorp reported stress in real estate portfolio. New York Community Bancorp is a New York-based regional bank. Moreover, NYCB acquired the troubled Signature Bank last year, which pushed it towards strict regulatory requirements. Following the bank's earnings reports, shares of U.S. regional banks have fallen over 1.6%. NYCB's shares itself slipped over 37% yesterday. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has said that the company's shareholders will soon conduct a vote. This is to change Tesla's state of incorporation from Delaware to Texas. It comes after a Delaware court invalidated Musk's $56 billion pay package on Wednesday. The judge had called Musk's 2018 pay package quote-unquote unfathomable. Following the ruling, Musk put up a poll on social media platform X asking people if the company's state of incorporation should be changed. UK's oil giant Shell has reported over $28 billion in profit for 2023. The firm's profit has dropped over 30% compared to the previous year. The drop in profits came amid reducing energy prices. Security workers at major airports in Germany carried out a one-day strike on Thursday. The strike affected 11 airports, including major hubs like Frankfurt, Berlin, Cologne and Hamburg. More than 1,000 flights were reportedly cancelled or delayed, affecting over 200,000 travellers. Workers' unions are demanding higher hourly pay and bonuses for overtime work. A US unit of edtech startup Byju's has filed for bankruptcy. According to reports, the American unit's liabilities range from $1 billion to $10 billion. This comes as the edtech firm has seen a steep drop in its valuation in recent days. Byju's has also been negotiating the payment of $1.2 billion loan. An investors group led by investment firm Ancora Holdings has bought a stake in US rail operator Norfolk Southern. Reports say the group has bought over $1 billion worth of stake in the firm. Following the acquisition, the group plans to oust the company's CEO Alan Shaw. This comes as Norfolk has been under pressure due to lower profits and a major accident last year. Meta has said that it will give out a cash dividend of 50 cents per share to its shareholders this quarter. CEO Mark Zuckerberg reportedly holds about 350 million shares in Meta. This means he will receive around $700 million a year from this payout. The company announced the dividend payout after reporting its fourth quarter results. Meta tripled its profits to $14 billion in the last quarter. Amazon's fourth quarter revenue has surpassed market expectations. The e-commerce giant reported $170 billion in revenue against $166 billion projected by analysts. Following the results, Amazon shares rose as much as 8% on Thursday. The company said that new generative AI features in its cloud services helped drive its profits. On to sports now, and we begin with the biggest headline. Seven-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton has bid goodbye to Mercedes and will make a switch to Ferrari next year. This will be Hamilton's last driving season for the Silver Arrows. Lewis Hamilton, who has been with Mercedes for 11 years, said the decision to leave was one of the hardest he had ever had to make. India and England are playing their second test in Visakhapatnam, where India are off to a steady start after skipper Rohit Sharma won the toss and decided to bat first. After a loss in the first test, under pressure and under-resourced India are looking to counter England's best ball. Absence of Virat Kohli and injured Ravindra Jadeja and KL Rahul has made the squad's task tougher. And more worrisome news for the Indian squad. Reports say Virat Kohli is unlikely to return for the last three tests against England. The report adds that the Indian star batter is out of the country. Earlier, Kohli requested the BCCI to be withdrawn from the first two tests, citing personal reasons. Kesekati missed his maiden ODI century after a run-out mix-up at 88 as West Indies reached 231 in the first one-day international against Australia at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Debutant pacer Xavier Bartlett took 4 wickets, giving off 17 runs from 9 overs. The West Indies, sent into bat by Australia captain Steve Smith, were all out with 8 balls left in their innings. On to football now. Al Nassr crushed Inter Miami 6-0 as injury ruled Cristiano Ronaldo out of a match of a much-hyped showdown with Lionel Messi. Messi was limited to a late substitute appearance in Thursday's friendly in Riyadh. Brazilian Talisca scored a hat-trick as the Saudi Pro League side demolished their Major League Soccer opponents, scoring 3 times in the first 12 minutes. Kobbie Mainoo scored a 97th-minute winner as Manchester United snatched a dramatic 4-3 victory at Wolves. Marcus Rashford's goal-scoring return led United race into a 2-0 lead. Scott McTominay added another. For the home side, Pablo Sarabia's penalty and points by Max Kilman and Pedro Neto got the Wolves back in the game, but Mainoo's final twist was the decider. Real Madrid regained La Liga lead with a comfortable 2-0 victory at Getafe. Joselu scored a goal in each half to move Madrid 2 points clear of Girona at the top of the table. This was the 6th straight league victory for Madrid. They play Atletico again in Madrid derby on Sunday. Sebastian Korda and Davis Cup debutant Chris Eubanks won Thursday's singles matches as the United States moved 2-0 up against Ukraine in their qualifier in Lithuania. World number 33 Korda overcame the challenge of Oleksiy Krutik, a player ranked 309 places beneath the American, to earn a battling 6-3, 6-7, 6-4 victory. In the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers stunned the Boston Celtics with third home defeat. Lakers delivered a thrilling 114-105 upset in Boston. Austin Reeves delivered the offense for the Lakers with a 32-point effort. Four-time NBA MVP LeBron James and star forward Anthony Davis were ruled out by the Lakers due to injury. The Philadelphia 76ers stunned the Utah Jazz with a 127-124 loss. Tyrese Maxey scored 51 points to carry the short-handed 76ers, who played without Joel Embiid. The Jazz were led by Lauri Markkanen, who scored 28 points. In entertainment news, Hollywood power couple Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas were forced to vacate their $20 million Los Angeles home. According to reports, a water leakage led to a mold infestation which made the property virtually unlivable. They've also sued the person who sold them the house. The couple purchased the house in 2019, months after their marriage in 2018. Harvard University's Hasty Pudding Theatricals organization named actor Annette Bening as the 2024 Woman of the Year. The Pudding has been giving this award since 1951. The award is bestowed on someone who makes a lasting and impressive contribution to the world of entertainment. According to reports, Brad Pitt will be reuniting with Quentin Tarantino for the director's final film. The film, titled The Movie Critic, is eyeing a 2025 release. It is set in the 70s and revolves around a man who writes movie reviews. It's unclear what role Pitt will play in the film. Amy Adams is in talks with makers of Clara and the Sun. If the actor signs the contract, she will star opposite Jenna Ortega. The upcoming film Clara and the Sun will be directed by Taika Waititi. The story revolves around Clara, who's an artificially friend designed to work as a companion. A Netflix executive revealed why American actor Halle Berry's film The Mothership was dropped. The executive cited production and creative issues behind the decision of pulling the plug. The film starred Berry as a single mother whose husband mysteriously vanishes one day. Netflix released the teaser of upcoming series Squid Games 2. It is a South Korean thriller television series. It is centered around a secret contest of children's games, but with deadly consequences. The teaser shows Lee Jung-jae at the airport threatening someone on the phone. The show is slated to release this year. The cameras for the Suits spin-off series Suits LA will start rolling in March. The series will shoot their pilot episode in Vancouver City. The show will follow the character Ted Black, whose law firm is in a crisis. The original series premiered in 2011 and ran for 9 seasons. The guitar collection of musician Mark Knopfler was sold for a record $11.2 million. He worked as the frontman of the British rock band Dire Straits. The auction listed 120 guitars and amplifiers used by the musician to record his career's biggest hits. Rock band Pearl Jam threw a listening party for their forthcoming album in Los Angeles. The party was attended by their family members, friends, industry insiders and journalists. Singer Eddie Vedder called this album their best work. The release date has not been announced yet. And Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter Darius Rucker was arrested in the U.S. state of Tennessee for a drug offense. According to reports, he was arrested for 2 counts of simple possession or casual exchange of a controlled substance. He was later released on a bond of $10,500.